Hello everyone, this is Kids World coming to you today with Mrs. Elizabeth Ann Cabell. She is going to be telling you about our Pinnacle curriculum that we use here at Kids World to teach our wonderful children. Miss Ann, what are your credentials that led to becoming the curriculum specialist here at Kids World?
In 1975, I obtained my bachelor and master's degree in elementary ed from Western Kentucky University. And after completing that, I began to teach first grade in Bowling Green and for 1 year. And then after returning home, I began teaching at Hephertsville School. I taught at Hephertsville for 25 years and then went on to begin teaching at East Heights after the closure of Hephertsville. So I've actually taught first, second, third grade, and at the closure of my 27th year, I retired. Then I began working at Spotsville Elementary School. And after a few years there, second retirement, Ms. Tamika Johnson asked if I would come and help with the curriculum and become the curriculum specialist for her daycare.
Well, that is awesome. So you have, how many years all total do you have?
I have 38 years.
Oh my goodness, that is just remarkable, Miss Ann. At Kids World, we teach from a faith-based curriculum called Pinnacle. Can you tell our viewers about this curriculum?
Sure. The faith-based Pinnacle curriculum includes, actually it includes each day, there's a morning group, there's a routine, because see, routines help children to learn what's expected of them, and actually the repetition of familiar concepts help children just learn faster. Pinnacle itself has Bible focus in it each week. It has a circle time that's devoted to learning about God and Jesus and scriptures. And actually it's the roadmap that the teachers are using in order to make certain that their curriculum, that they're on the right path as they teach the children.
Absolutely. I really feel you on that repetition, the constant doing the same thing over and over. And as an adult, you know that's how you get better at anything. Practice, exactly. Practice, practice.
Exactly.
Can you tell us exactly what is Pinnacle? Do you have manuals or anything that you use for that?
Pinnacle is a guide for our daily curriculum, and we do have guides for the infants to 12 months, and then it goes actually up to our school agers. The curriculum itself has a guide, and I actually pulled the 4-year-old guide for July, and in this particular one we're working on week 2, and it's the Wild Wild West is the theme that we're dealing with this week. So this guide here is given to the teacher, and he or she is able to pull out any activities that they want throughout the week, because the themes change by the week, and as they pull the theme out, they have access to the objectives, definitely, that each teacher needs to be aware of, and it gives so many ideas, everything from sensory science to math. It gives them, of course, arts and science, arts, crafts that the children love to do. Of course, it has that Bible focus, and large and small groups. So it gives just an overall abundance of information that the teachers can have to share with the children.
That's just awesome, and I would think that would be just a blessing to the teachers not to have to prepare their own lesson plans each week, but use something that's already prepared for them.
Exactly, and it makes their job somewhat easier, but at least it keeps them more organized, and as we say, on that roadmap, just helps them to not be, it helps them just to be a little bit more confident in their teaching skills. Absolutely.
That is a great thing. Can you walk me through a daily routine in the preschool room and tell me how the curriculum plays into that?
Sure. I've chosen our rooms are color-coded, but this particular one is going to be talking from the 4-year-old room. Okay. The 4-year-old room, we have the free play that begins for about 2-hour period when the children are first brought in. And then, of course, there's a cleanup time before breakfast. After the hand washing and the restrooming all takes place, then we begin the time where they're doing their small group, which would be with language arts, and crafts are going on at this time as well. when they're into the different centers that they're going into, the teachers are, of course, going from center to center and checking on them, but still the children are allowed to, of course, be more so engaged with their peers.
Correct.
Okay? And then as it moves on, we do have outside time, of course, it has to be acknowledged. Once that takes place, then there's lunch. We have a lot of final board stories and poetry that goes on. Nap time comes in, and then I will have to say, I'm going to need to back up just a moment, because when I talk about Pinnacle, it has a lot of different aspects to it. So when we're up here and having small group or large group time, the teacher may be doing either crafts, they may be doing a little math game, they may be doing several different activities going on within the time that's called for Pinnacle to be taking place in the classroom.
Okay, all right. So the teacher actually has a flow of the day going. The children know what this flow is, and there's a transitioning period between each phase that they go throughout the day.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And that makes it so, because children want to know, they don't like surprises. They want to know, basically, well, is this the time for the small group, or we're getting ready to do crafts and all. So there is a schedule that the teachers are asked to abide by.
Good deal. Is curriculum only for preschool children?
No, we have, actually it's just wonderful to be able to say that we have a curriculum that flows with the infants, beginning at 6 weeks, infants on up to our 12-month period of babies. And then it starts with the toddlers. We move on to the 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and school ages. I'd like to share with you some some infant information. This particular book shows that the infants, it's their curriculum, and this one is for July, and it's broken down into ages, 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and 9 to 12. But the part I love about it, within this you've got gross motor skills for the babies, social, emotional, sensory, and art. So it takes care of the full element of the child, and this is what definitely needs to happen when you're dealing with. It's so important with those babies to make certain that their little brains are being made sure that they are, being aware.
Developing on schedule.
Exactly. So when we talk about the curriculum for the infants, it is truly something that needs to make, that the children need, and that we make certain that the teachers are implementing.
Good. What are some of the things that you would do with the infants?
Okay, this particular one is talking, we do a lot of singing to the infants, but this particular one, for gross motors, I'm just going to pull gross motors. It says turn off the lights, lay the baby on a blanket on the floor, and shine a flashlight kind of on the ceiling, and moving slowly back and forth, and encourage the baby to reach for the light.
Oh, that is so sweet.
So that's gross motor. And let me pull one out here for the 9 to 12 in the same gross motor. It says, invite the babies to crawl around on the floor like little cows. Now remember, we're on our Wild Wild West theme. And if they can, to try to kind of moo. And so this is just a little snapshot of what could happen with the infants. I'm going to take one of the sensory explorations. Play a recording of animal sounds, and just talk to the baby. Talk to him about the sounds as she or he listens to them. Now that was for the 0 to 3. But then for 9 to 12 months, have the children make little horse or cow sounds as they explore straw in the sensory table. So really, it's just so much that can go on within the Pinnacle curriculum that I'm just so proud to be a part of.
Absolutely. It's just an absolutely wonderful thing for the children and the teachers. It's just wonderful. How is using a curriculum beneficial to the teachers?
The way that it's beneficial for the teachers, it actually sets us apart because there's actually a roadmap, once again, that will make sure that they are keeping on track, okay? And it's beneficial. The teachers this program is teacher friendly, actually. It makes certain that they know supplies that are needed. It gives them the supplies that are needed. It creates it's a non-threatening type of curriculum, okay? And it makes their teaching style become just so much easier and so much more able to implement to the children.
So it's a really good tool for a teacher.
It definitely is a tool that I'm glad we have in place here, and I'm hoping that it can continue to be the curriculum that we use.
Okay. Miss Ann, you certainly possess a wealth of knowledge and experience. What advice would you have to give to parents today in regard to early education?
Early education, it actually develops the emotional and the social and, of course, the physical development of a young child. Really, it has a direct effect on their overall development into adulthood. Understanding really the need for a very good early childhood program is something that parents, I know they are aware of, but the importance of it actually is something that I can't stress enough, because it embodies everything that they're going to need from zero through their adulthood. And so it's actually extremely important that your child is placed in a nurturing, safe environment.
Right. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Miss Ann. What advice do you have for students who want to become a teacher?
Students who would like to become a teacher, it says you must have a genuine love and desire to work in education, first of all. Actually having an understanding that you've got to be organized, but you've got to be flexible, because there are times when anything could transpire and you would have to switch gears and do something that you totally weren't expecting to do. But the child will give you that. Sometimes classrooms give you that lead, from you thought you were doing this, but well, no, I think we probably would be better to go this route with it. But that's just some things that you have to make sure that you're flexible with. You have to have the strengths and weaknesses, but you have to be firm with children, fair with them, consistent, and caring. Those are things that you really need to have in order to possess good teacher qualities.
Absolutely. Well, Miss Ann, I cannot thank you enough for coming here today and speaking with us. You have some examples right there of the curriculum that we do in the classes. Would you like to show those off?
Sure. This particular one, we're in the Wild Wild West theme, and so this particular one came from one of the classes. Now this is actually your little cactus, but the teacher allowed them to use cornmeal on this, and it looks like the little prickles from the cactus. And also this has been painted, actually, not just coloring, but she's painted that for them. We have a horseshoe that this is from a 2-year-old room, and they were studying shapes, so that's why their teacher allowed them to just be very creative in using any shape that they want on their horseshoe. And there's a campfire, the campfire that has been made by a 2-year-old. And lastly is rope.